Welcome, everyone, to At the Bar With podcast. I am your host, Brett, with my co-host, Stacy. And streaming in from Sacramento, California on the back screen is Patrick. Tonight, our guest is a guy named Frank Milnar. And
Dr. Milnar.
He's the doctor of dentistry.
I'm here.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Doc. Doc, quit drinking how long ago?
August 8th, 1998.
1998.
That's probably like right around when we were meeting and we met. Well, we probably met like, 97 or so, 98?
Yeah.
Around there. At, so I met Frank at White Bear Racket and Swim. I was a personal trainer, and I don't know exactly how we met. Were we doing something? I don't know how we actually met. Did I just come up to you and start talking to you or something? Or?
Well, you saw me, I saw you, and then I got to know the other personal trainers, and all of a sudden I came up to you, and I said, how are you doing? You want to get together and train me a little bit?
Okay.
And so that's how that started, and that was just free weights. That's all it was.
Yep. And I learned about Frank's situation because your knee was pretty bad. Oh, didn't you get a knee replacement on the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was right before that, correct?
That was right before
that. Before that. So you got a knee replacement on that.
Was that your rock bottom story? Why you quit drinking? Did you blow up your knee? Really?
No, I was a product of the 60s, and I was from the frat systems, and I tell you, we had keggers going all the time, and it was, the more you drank, the more glorified you got, and the stories got over the top, and I just said, I've got to stop this, and that's when I did.
Well, that's good.
So,
the dental students, they know how to party. I mean,
we did.
Everyone in band and dental, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
So what we got here is a club soda, lime and lemon, but we put it in a red Solo cup just so you feel like you're part of the bar scene here.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Patrick, what are you having?
I'm still rocking the Golden State cider. I can't get away from it. It's my favorite thing.
It's your favorite. How much does a 6-pack of Golden State cider cost in California?
Well, it's a 4-pack of 16-ounce cans for $12.99.
That's not bad. That's about what it is here.
Yeah. You'd think it'd be a lot more expensive there for some reason.
So it's a local thing. So we have apples out here.
So
it's cheap to produce.
I stole that comp, Frank, from when we went on a cruise to Alaska.
All right.
I had cargo pockets, and I took one in each pocket. I walked out. I looked a little retarded, but whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. But they're nice. They're great cups. Well, Stacy and I are going to do a little bit of the orange Jameson and soda. And that's what we're doing right here with a fresh orange squeeze right on it. So these
Why don't
are...
you lean on it, Brett. Lean on it.
Have you on the right hand there, buddy?
You don't have to tell the story.
So it looks like Brett got a new job with Jameson there. He's got staff shirt.
Oh, this is an old shirt back from my bartending days.
So Brett used to bartend at O'Donovan's and TGI Fridays.
Oh, okay.
And that's where he met Patrick. So there's
Refuge. There's quite a few places.
Yep. And I remember him with all the buttons too. That was pretty funny.
37 pieces of flair,
You gotta have the flair. The Nazis had flair.
What?
All right, that looks good.
That's a line from the movie Waiting.
Oh, that's
Jennifer
right.
Aston is like, the Nazis had flair. He's making me wear too much flair.
Right.
So it's a line from a movie. It is
Cheers, everybody.
Right
Cheers.
Cheers. Look at the
Cheers, everybody. All right.
Cheers.
Gene.
Slancha. All right, Patrick.
Patrick.
I already beat you there.
Oh, that is very tasty.
Ooh, that's delicious.
It's one of those really light kind of summery drinks, I think.
Brett's mad at the 50-degree weather, so he had to pull out the hot weather. And so, Frank, we met, and then we were going back to the gym here, and we were sitting there, and then I saw that he had a little bit of a limp. He was, oh yeah, he lost my leg. So why don't you tell us about that story? And he told me this. I'm like, wow, this guy's hardcore.
Well, being from the 60s, baby boomers, we had total freedom.
Yep.
We could do anything we wanted. And back then, motorcycles were very cool. And
did you have really long hair?
I did.
Were you a hippie?
I had sideburns down to here. I still have the Fu Manchu was from the 60s. But we were just totally total freedom.
Yep.
Do anything we want, go any place we wanted to. And my cousin from the east side, he's Michael, my brother, we were riding all around town, do anything we wanted to. And at that point, I was probably not a disciplined person. Okay, I was more excited all the time.
You were 11th grader, right?
Yeah, 11th grader, just doing
1966.
1966.
Wow.
And so
That was before my time.
It was before we were born.
it was
I'm old.
It was on Mother's Day, May 6th, that we were riding on Shepherd Road downtown, and we were going to go up downtown St. Paul. So we took a left onto Chestnut Street, where you could go straight up to West 7th Street, and there was a railroad crossing, and didn't have this had flashing lights, and there were cars coming down Chestnut, and there were cars going up Chestnut waiting for the train to go by that was going west to east. And we were sitting in line, and the train went by, and a couple cars came down from the top, and my cousin and I had the great idea we were going to go pull around to the right side and beat the traffic and go up the hill. It was a great idea, except there was another train coming from the east to the west that you couldn't see. It was sheltered in a tunnel. And my cousin made it across the tracks. I did not. And so the train hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the impact vividly. And I woke up on the tracks probably about 200 to 300 feet down where the intersection was. And I knew I was in trouble. I just didn't know how bad or anything like that. And I remember the ambulance, I could hear the ambulance coming, and I knew something was wrong with my leg, but I didn't want to look. And I remember then that they took me in the ambulance and went to Ramsey Hospital, and I lost my leg, below the leg.
Below the knee.
And I for the life of me, I don't know why I was saved. I mean, this is part of my journey I'm going to tell you about.
Yeah.
Because there's something behind it. And I went to Regions, had surgery. And in fact, I told Stacy, I was really cool back then. I was smoking cigarettes. And I could smoke cigarettes on my motorcycle. I mean,
Oh my God.
and I even had a Zippo lighter that I could do this and light cigarettes on my motorcycle. And the souvenir, my motorcycle was bent in half.
Wow.
And the Zippo lighter, as you can see, has dents in it.
And a perfectly half-circle dent.
And
Wow.
right here, there's a circle, and that's a quarter that I had in my pocket.
Oh, wow.
And that was what I got left from that incident. So, people have stories, and it took me a long time to start talking about this. And I remember vividly that I was in intensive care, and I had to finish my 11th grade finals in intensive care.
Oh, really?
Wow.
They still made you?
I was on painkillers.
Oh, wow.
And I couldn't, there's no way I could.
So you never looked. Was it gone then?
Yeah.
It was gone when you were in the accident?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. And then but how did it, I suppose you were so numb that you couldn't feel anything.
Couldn't feel anything else in shock.
When did you start feeling the pain and so forth? Was it after you woke up or after you had the
That was my new friend, pain.
pain?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get that out.
Yeah. I took my finals in intensive care, and I was on morphine, and I didn't know anything. I should have flunked the class. I should have flunked every final. And when you want to talk about mercy, my teachers passed me.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
And this is part of the story. And I was full of contusions. I was on crutches. I had back was broken in 4 places. I had scrapes all over my body, my leg. And I needed to start school. I was on crutches.
Your senior year?
Yeah, for my senior year. And I had to wait for the skin lacerations and contusions to heal so I could get a leg. I didn't know what the hell a leg was or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And finally, it was nearing the end of the summer, and I had to get a leg. And when I got a leg, it was draconian. It was
Not as
it was
1966
Oh, man.
prosthetic, I'm sure is.
It was rough. I was in so much pain. It was big. You could see it in my pants. I had to learn how to walk in 1 week. Okay, to go to school.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And there was so much pain. And
Where were you going to school at that time?
Sibley High School, West St. Paul.
Sibley High School, West St. Paul. And then,
Yeah.
so did I suppose everybody came up to you and asked you and talked to you and stuff like that?
Well, yeah. And I was really conscientious about the whole deal.
Uh-huh.
And part of my story is I hit rock bottom there. I had no identity left anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I had to start from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like you're in hell, and people are looking at you, and
Oh, sure.
it's part of the deal.
Yeah.
But everything that I look back now and part of this story that leads to my professional achievements has to do with dealing with the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that work for me and against me
Mm-hmm.
at the same time?
Sure.
So the goal was, at that point, I wanted to look like you. I wanted to look like everybody here that you didn't see me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to look like normal,
Mm-hmm.
so you didn't watch me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of where I was at. I was so conscientious of that, and everybody knew it. And I survived my senior year thanks to some really close friends that we hung out together.
Mm-hmm.
And when we graduated, then I went to Hamlin University. But what I wanted to do was walk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I learned how to walk with a prosthetic leg that
Right.
was really not a very good one. So you could see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was athletic growing up. I was a ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I had 2 choices to make, like everybody does that can go to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You either stay at the bottom and no growth, and you're not ambitious, or you're going to do something
Mhm.
about that. And I had the deep desire to drive myself forward,
Mm-hmm.
to do something about this, to become athletic again.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know where, why. I wanted to do it to become athletic again, to look like you. And I couldn't run.
Yep.
I had to skip.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of my high school friends were playing slow pitch, and they said, "Do you want to play?" Well, I couldn't run,
Mm-hmm.
but I was a pitcher in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a slow
Mhm.
pitch pitcher with a prosthetic leg. And it was really
You can
weird.
still have people run for you when you bat, right? Like,
Well-
I've played on leagues like that too. Like,
Not at that point, you couldn't, but
Yeah.
it was really weird. I could hit the hell out of the ball. I was a
Mhm.
power hitter, but I had to skip.
Yeah.
And I just, I gotta do something about this. This is embarrassing. And I practiced so hard when nobody was watching. It was weird. And I was by myself. And I remember the first time I could run. I had a leg brace on with the straps hooking in hinges and everything. I remember the first time I could run. I was so proud of myself. It hurt like hell, but I could run now. And now this is the next part. I could compete.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to do, was compete.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know how to do it, but I knew I was going to do it. And when I could be a competitor, I was brutal on people.
Mm-hmm.
That was my slave. I wanted to beat anybody
Sure.
at anything. And I didn't
Was that
care.
part of gaining yourself back, your
Oh, yeah.
self-worth?
I had no identity.
Yeah.
I had to reinvent it from the bottom up.
So how old are you now?
I'll
Yeah.
be 76.
76. When I met him at the club, man, he's stacked. He can bench, super strong.
330.
330. Yeah. So
Wow.
he just went off on that. And then I started training him in martial arts. So he started doing some martial arts with me and punching and stuff. He's got a good punch. So fast forward a little bit, you went to Hamlin for dentistry.
It was a science. Science, biology. I love biology.
Okay.
Okay. What I learned, you have to find something you like to do and become good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really a scholarly guy. And the science department, I majored in biology and took all the chemistry courses and everything. And my father was a physician in St. Paul. He was never home. He says, don't do this. And one of my another fraternity I joined at Hamlin was the athletics fraternity.
Oh, it was.
Oh yeah, football players and everything.
Uh-huh.
A lot of beer drinking. It was fantastic. And I met a guy there who turned out to be my partner for 40 years. He was a tennis player, and he was 3 years older than me.
Was that Dr. Killian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we became best buddies.
Okay.
And we competed in sports, and I was in every intramural sport at Hamlin. I could run, I could compete, and then I was a softball player, and that's when my skills really developed.
Mm-hmm.
Playing softball. Fast forward, I played AA slow pitch with the best teams in the state.
Oh, okay.
And I was known for what I did. And there's a story I'll tell you about that. But the to be competitive was a rebirth for me.
Mm-hmm.
I became something.
Yeah.
Part of it wasn't good because
Mhm.
I wasn't a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I was emerging
Mm-hmm.
as a person. And so there I am playing softball, having fun, doing all this. And I can just leave you with one anecdote, how bad I was as a competitor, is I would use my leg to stop line drives and just stick out my leg and knock it down. And I'd pick up the ball and throw the guy out, and the guys on the other team were looking and said, what the hell? I had a guy hit a line drive off my leg and it went over the backstop, and I just looked at him.
Oh my God.
without
not even flinching. And one other story, we'll move on from this. This is how I used it as a weapon.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, I was weaponized
Mhm.
at this point.
Mhm.
I had no fear
Mm-hmm.
of nothing. And we were in a state tournament out in Cool Rapids. I could run, and I was on second base, and our guy hit a single, and the third base coach said, "Go, go, go! You're in." And I'm running like hell,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm running towards home plate. There's a lot of fans and everything there, and all of a sudden, my teammate said, "Slide." No. I'm trying to think about what that meant. The only thing I could think about is when I was younger, we did a hook slide.
Yeah.
And so I did a hook slide into home base, and I had a knee brace with metal braces on it and everything. It caught my metal brace and completely distorted it. It was off to the side, ripped my pants, and it was like my whole leg was distorted. Fans were screaming, get an ambulance. I couldn't move, and pants were ripped up. And my teammates came over to me and say, "Frank, what do you want to do?" And they said, "We're going to call an ambulance." I said, "No, pick me up, get me on my shoulders, and let's go in the bathroom." So I'm walking like this, and my leg is all bent up. It's horrible. And the little kids are, "Mommy, is he going to die?"
Oh my
And went into the bathroom, and we looked at it, and the metal braces were all bent up. And I said, "Okay, you guys push on one side, I'll push on the other." So we pushed that metal brace. It wasn't perfect, but good enough so I could get back in my leg. My pants were all ripped up. It was horrible. And so I came out of the bathroom and walked back on the mound.
Oh my God.
The kids are probably going,
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
With your ripped up pants?
Oh, everything.
What?
Oh, it's horrible.
They probably thought you were an alien or something.
But
Well, I suppose nobody knew, though.
nobody knew.
Nobody knew, yeah.
No.
Because I didn't know why you were limping when I saw
Yeah.
you at the club. I didn't know why you were limping.
So the umpire comes up to me and everybody's looking at me and they said, "Pitch, you want some more time?" I says, "Get that guy in the box now."
Mhm.
And I just stared at those guys. And we won the tournament.
Oh
But
my God.
Oh, they were
But
probably scared shitless of them. I mean,
it was just one of those things that emerging,
Yeah.
it was raw. I was so raw in what I was trying to do.
Uh-huh.
And was I proud of it? No, but I was proud of myself for accomplishing something because it developed my self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
It developed my drive. And I used that as fuel, as
Sure.
a vehicle
mm-hmm.
to what I learned and how much pain I took to propel me into academics at a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
And because some people, success comes from success, some comes from failure. Mine came from disaster.
Mm-hmm. Pain.
The pain. I was down so far, I had nowhere to go but up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I used.
So you went to dental school after biology.
Yeah.
And then fast forward into that, you've been a cosmetic dentist.
Yeah. Back when it was in vogue, but I've been inspired by people, mentors
Mm-hmm.
that were world class.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at educators and they had so much respect. And so they just cared about people, and I used them as role models.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, I'm going into dentistry.
Well, can I ask why, with the athletics, and it sounds like you got this drive, why dentistry? I mean,
Okay.
what was the pull with that?
Okay, it was real simple. Is that my dad wanted me to be a professional person, but not a physician. I wasn't meant to be a physician. And when I brought my frat buddy, Danny Killian, who was going to go into dental school, I always brought my friends home to meet my dad to get his seal of approval.
Mm-hmm.
And we had sitting at the bar, had a scotch, and we're talking. And he said to my dad that he's going into dentistry. And I talked to my dad later that night, and he says, "You know what? Stick with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just go into dentistry. They get a lot of free time and they make good money."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when I went to follow him to dental school, I saw these guys up in the labs who were making little blue teeth, and they're casting gold, and they're working with their hands. And I had a construction background. In fact, I just for the record, I picked construction jobs in college and dental school that were the hardest construction labor jobs you could get to see how much I could take.
Mm-hmm.
And I was carrying plywood up sand hills, and I just tore myself apart to see how much I could take. And I wound up being last year in college when I wasn't at the top of my class, and the summer's going by. I never heard what if I'm getting into school, and I figured, oh God, I'm not going to get into school. And I actually was up in a tower crane. I was a tower crane operator.
Mm.
And I got into dental school. But once again, it's that drive. I wanted to see how much pain I could take and how much I could endure to get some respect for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it turned out dentistry was just a great profession. It was the best I could ever do.
Oh.
I mean, when I was looking at your resume, I mean, it was like page after page after page. I mean, you've done a lot.
Yeah.
in terms of dentistry. So I'm looking at that going, yeah, you definitely picked the right, career path.
You know,
for that.
I was driven so much, and it's taken me decades to figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just doing it and clawing at relentless pursuit
Mm-hmm.
of anything to accomplish, to pass people. Telling you guys, there were smart guys in my class all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad said, when I got into dental school, he was a Chuck guy from West 7th Street. He says, congratulations on getting into dental school. He says, I got a question for you. Are you the smartest one in that class? I says, no, Dad, I'm not. He says, remember that. He said, don't you ever come back here and tell me somebody outworked you.
Mm.
Right.
And that was my sword. And I don't know if you want to call it envy. I don't think it was, but I wanted to beat those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it with the books.
Right.
Yeah.
I beat them with the drive.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like, sounds like your father and my father, would have been buddies at the bar for sure. Because he kind of said the same kind of deal. It's like, there's always someone smarter than you. There's always going to be somebody better than you, but you can't stop working towards being the best at what you do.
It is the best version of yourself. And what's happened to me recently on my story after just working and achieving and working in awards and teaching. And as you look in my bio, I've done more military seminars than any dentist in the country.
Oh, wow.
I was asked to go teach in the military because of my direct nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I've been on aircraft carriers, submarines. I've been where the SEALs are. I've been, my greatest achievement was being in Tokyo to teach in the Tri-Service Elite. This is the best dentists from all branches of the armed forces.
Mm-hmm.
And I taught them.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
that, to me, that was a crowning moment
Mm-hmm.
for serving the country.
Sure.
And doing that. In fact, when you look at some of the hats, what they give you when they go to the military, you don't get compensation.
No.
You get respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one was from the Kitty Hawk. I did a seminar on the USS Kitty Hawk.
That's awesome.
I was on the USS Ronald Reagan. Did a seminar there.
That was an aircraft carrier, right?
Oh yeah, and this was in Camp Pendleton.
Oh, wow. You got a SEAL team.
Yeah.
SEAL team on that. So I got that. And what the honor is if they like you in the military, they give you a coin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of coins.
Oh, wow.
I've got them.
Those are all the places that you've.
Oh, there's some of them.
Oh, okay.
Some of them. But when I've been into Camp Pendleton, I'm with where the SEALs are.
Mhm.
When I was in Camp Lejeune, that's the green side of the Navy. That's where the Marines come from. So
Okay.
I got those kind of coins, and I got respect. Now, talk to you about when I was strong.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 young sons, and went to the state fair, and walking around, and I see this U.S. Army push-up contest. And I'm looking at that.
Here we go.
I can just see where this is going.
Walk in there and say, "What is this all about?" And they said, "We're looking for somebody who can do the most push-ups." I said, "Really? How do you do that?" And then they say, "Well, you got to be good and everything." And I said, "And what do you win? You get your name out there?" And they said, "Yeah." "Really? Okay, that sounds interesting." Say, "Boys, why don't you just stay over here? Dad's got some work to do." So I competed,
Uh-huh.
and I won it for my age.
Okay.
Okay.
How old were you?
Shoot, I suppose I was in my 50s.
Wow.
Okay. But anyways, in the military, this is great. I always had the same guys taking me around to the bases, and we always talk, and they'd say, "Gee, Frank, you look great. You're in shape." And I said, "Yeah, I'm in shape. I just won the push-up contest at the state fair." Okay, I'm at Great Lakes Naval Academy. Great Lakes Naval for the Navy.
Uh-huh.
And I always wore a T-shirt, I could flash a little bit. And I got the mic, and young cadets are in there, dentists and everything. And I say, hey, I'm Dr. Milnar. I'm here today to be with you. And some young lieutenant comes right up and comes right in my face. And I said, what's going on here? He says, I'm calling you out. I said, what's that mean? He says, I'm calling you out for push-ups. And I looked at Roger Hanks, the CEO, and I said, Roger, what is this? He says, Frank, you got to go. So they were setting me up to take me down.
Okay.
And the rule, they had everybody in on that floor, and you had to go toe to toe. You couldn't see your guy going against, and then you had on the minute you had to do strict push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now there's about 50 people watching this because they want to see me fail.
Yeah,
they saw you coming.
Yeah, they saw that was all BS. So we went against each other. This kid's probably about 27, and I'm in it. I'm tired and everything, and I got up. This kid's laying on the ground, and I said to the guy with the watch, I said, how many did he get? Got 62. I said, how many did I get? He got 79.
Oh.
So what I did, I took my hand and I pulled him back up. And I said, do you have any other questions? He said, nice number, sir. So that was kind of the heroic part of this. But where it's going to lead to is the awareness and the fulfillment. It took me so many decades to figure this out. Why am I doing this? What's this journey about? Do I always have to chase people? Do I also have to beat people? And what I really learned through all of this, I was just competing against myself.
Sure.
Nobody else.
Yep.
It was just me. And I was doing this relentlessly. But then I came to this moment, I would say 5 years ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And I felt compelled. Something was pulling me in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
And some amazing things started happening. I've taught all over the world. I've been every place doing this. And all of a sudden, doors started opening for me. My prosthetist that makes legs, he was head of the orthotics and prosthetics at Century College in St. Paul. And he said, Frank, would you talk to these new students about prosthetics? I said, sure. And they didn't know who I was or my story.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably about 30 of them. And I just walked down the steps and I just walked around. I'm shaking. Hey, Frank, how are you doing? What's going on? How long is this? No idea what they were going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they told them that I was amputee.
Mm.
And I said, I want to give you some advice. Who am I?
Mm.
I said, you're measuring people. People have lost limbs. Kids have lost limbs. Men have lost limbs. Women have lost limbs. Arms, legs, doubles, diabetes. And you better find out not only what you can do for them, but who they are.
Yeah, sure.
Because most of them are afraid.
Yep.
They're scared. They're conscientious. Women, for what they look like. Men can't play golf. They can't drive a car.
Mm-hmm.
I had one lady that they assigned to me to help, that she lost a leg, and they took her dog away from her.
What?
Because she couldn't go up and down the stairs and she couldn't drive the car.
Oh, wow.
So I said, okay, you and I, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was taking her leg off in the car, so she used one foot. And I said, no, you can't do that. You got to do both feet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't feel the other one. I said, that's right, you can't, but you use other senses to do this. And I went to parking lots with her, got her to drive her car, keep her leg on. She got her dog back.
No, was she driving a stick?
No.
So
No.
So automatic. So
Yeah.
it might have been a
But
little.
was it a right leg?
Yeah, it was a right leg, like
Wow.
mine.
Yeah. So the gas pedal and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
can't feel anything when I
Uh-huh.
do it, but I sense it.
You sense
Yeah.
the motion. Yeah.
I sense motion.
Oh,
My
interesting.
other senses. And so I've done that at Century College. It's interesting. And as a teacher, another door opens. Hamlin University, where I came from, they knew I was a educator, and the science department called me up and see if I want to be a head of the mentorship program for pre-medical, pre-dental, and biochem students going into grad school.
Oh, okay.
And I said, "Oh, this is interesting. I am starting to give back for somebody else for a different cause."
Sure.
And these are the professors that I had when I was going to school. They knew I wasn't the smartest, but they gave me a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want me to talk.
Sure.
I mean, this is
Well, I mean,
This
it's
is
like
feeling.
you've got so much experience. I mean, that knowledge is one thing, and one of the things that I saw through all the years that I did as a police officer, experience really does pull you over the finish line. I mean, you know what you're doing and how you're doing it, and it doesn't. You got to have the book smarts, but that experience,
Well,
those
doing
things that life experiences in your method, and all those things are just as important.
Well, I have, like you say, I have experience. It's not from the books.
Mm-hmm.
It's life experiences
Yeah.
now. And now I had 3 students last semester, spring semester, that I wanted to test. And I said, I'm talking to physics professors, chemistry professors.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at me and said, okay, we'll listen to you, Frank. I said, I have no rules. No rules. I do it my way. It's like martial arts,
Yeah.
Stacy. You just do it the way
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah.
And they are all 4.0 students, so academically smart, but they don't know how to connect with people.
Yeah.
And so I gave them assignments on Simon Sinek, how to talk, how to verbalize, how to use your hand language. And I worked with them. And as part of the mentorship program, there were other mentorships in criminal justice, law, and everything. They had to give a 15-minute presentation in front of the faculty and all the other students involved in mentorship programs. And I said, come on, guys, we're going to meet on a Saturday. I'm going to give you my time. And I got news for you. Look at me. I want you to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you to come up with something phenomenal and blow them out of the water.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Because you reflect me.
Yeah.
And if I mentor you and you're going to go to med school and dental school, you're going to give this back. You're going to serve on some governance or do something. Otherwise, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
You got to give back. And I was so proud of them. They, just like you, Stacy, we do drills or something. I could do something, and they did so well. I was so proud of them, and it was truly amazing. Now, in just a couple of weeks, I have 4 new pre-med students.
Wow.
Well, that's cool.
And I find internships and residents for them, and I'm going to let the young ones the last year teach the new ones.
Well, that's cool.
But it's like martial arts.
Yeah.
You do this, but this is a whole new dimension for me. It's called fulfillment.
Yeah.
I'm at this moment where amazing things are happening in my life. And it all started in 1966 that somebody saved my life
Sure.
to take me through.
That's a journey.
all this.
And it is a journey, but I mean, it's like your journey has been about adapting, it's about adaptation, adapting to your environment and how to do something like everybody else. You adapt and then you do it. And I mean,
It's one of the most
hats off to
difficult.
It's one of the most difficult things, but and that's why, I'm listening to this going, no wonder you're a good educator.
Yeah.
Your experiences are, is makes you who you are, and other people can see how they can adapt to the problems in life and get over them. That's a big deal.
He saved my ass so many times. I remember, okay, because as a personal trainer, right, you don't have dental insurance. You don't have medical insurance. You have to buy your own. And I had toothaches and I'd call Frank up. Frank, man, I'm dying over here. He's like, yep, just be at my office at 7:00 in the morning. Squared me away, root canals, whatever, crowns. Gosh, I can't remember. A couple of times he's done that for me. He even made me a pair of vampire fangs. I wish I still had this. For Halloween.
Yeah, but I want to ask you
I'm jealous.
question though. It's like, how many people come up to you and go, "Hey, can you look at this? I got this weird sensation."
Everybody's got a bad dental story about a bad dentist or something.
Oh yeah,
and that travels. That travels.
I was on
so
jury
far.
duty for some guy trying to sue McDonald's, and he bit into a burger and his tooth cracked.
Oh, what a bummer.
And it was the most pathetic thing.
Yeah, you had some pretty famous. Didn't you have some famous? Clients.
A lot of politicians.
Wasn't it like Norm Coleman or something?
Yeah, Norm Coleman, superstar Mike Morris did him. I've done a lot of people. It's an honor. I've been doing this 47 years. I work 3 days a week, and then to take care of the people that have served my partner and I for 40 years. And they come in from all over the country just to see me and my staff.
Oh,
because
okay.
They trust me.
Yeah.
And so it's an
Do
honor.
you still practice?
Yeah, 3
Nice.
days a week. One other story about the prosthetics is when I went to Century College, I had a prosthetist that did humanitarian work, and they had Ukrainian soldiers
Wow.
that lost limbs, and they got grant money here to do it.
Wow.
And she said, Dr. Milnar, they need somebody to talk to.
Okay.
I had nobody. My journey was self-discovery. When I lost my leg, I had no teachers.
Mm.
I had no mentors. I had nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
I had just myself.
Yep.
And now if I'm growing and giving at the same
Well, that's
time,
like a new evolution of a position that
Right.
wasn't there.
yeah. Now I'm giving back. Have interpreters, and I talk to them, and I look at them and said, we're winning.
Uh-huh.
We're going to win.
Yep.
You're going to win.
Yep.
And they looked at me and how I can do things, and I said, that's you.
Yeah. In your
All you have-
future, yeah, because I'm sure they're like deflated. I can't
Yeah.
do anything, and I can't, because when I saw him, his gait was almost perfect. I mean, I could
Yeah.
see a slight, limp in there, but not much because it didn't bend very well at the ankle, right? Because it's a straight position. But you've made that thing so you could barely even tell. It's like wow.
Well, there's part two, and I had my knee replaced when I was 51.
Mm-hmm.
I
remember
My
that.
goodness.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't mean to ask, but how old are you now?
I'll be 76.
Jeez. I mean, look at this man.
I know it.
I mean, honestly, when you walked up, I'm like going, God, who is this ass kicker? I mean, built like
he's
a
built-
brick shit house,
Yep.
and just not looking like the guy I would never want to mess with.
Yep.
And
You
you're
know-
also very handsome.
And to be 76 and look like you, holy
Yep.
smokes!
So I was my worst enemy. I kept on competing. I was in spinning classes.
Yep. I remember that.
All this
You were at the gym every day.
every day.
You swim every day too, didn't you?
Well, no, I was weightlifting then. I
Yeah.
didn't swim. But I wore out I was so hard on my knee. I didn't care. I didn't
Your
care.
good knee, you wore that thing out. Was that part of?
But it was
Was that part of like compensating on the left side, on
Yeah.
the right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it was just
Yeah.
I wouldn't quit competing. And it was in 2010, I was walking down the stairs in my dental office where the office was, and I could get down pretty quick. There was no rails, and I missed a step, the last step, and I came down hard on my foot with the knee replacement.
Oh,
I'll never forget it. I came down so hard, and you could hear a broomstick break.
oh.
I fell down and my knee fractured my kneecap off my knee replacement. Now my knee's off on the side of my leg.
Oh, jeez.
jeez.
And here we go again.
Yeah.
And I look at
Shit.
this, and they took me to Regents Hospital, and they tried to wire it together twice, and it failed.
Oh, wow.
So this is another miracle. They went They wired it for the third time. I was home by myself, and my leg was all bandaged up. Nobody's home. And I heard a voice saying, cut it off. Wow. A voice, cut it off. I went and got a butcher knife and a scissors. I cut the bandage off. My knee was yellow and purple. I was infected.
Oh, good God.
Okay. And I called them up and they said, you're coming in tonight, bring your bag. And I said, what are you going to do? And they said, we're just going to debride it and clean it out.
Mm-hmm.
And when I woke up 2 days later, I was septic. They had to drill my knee out.
Jeez.
I had PICC lines in me. I lost all circulation in my knee. They took my calf muscle from my left leg and grafted it into my knee to get circulation.
Jeez.
Oh,
I
wow.
was same thing as in 66,
Wow.
all over. And I was in shock. And I had no knee. My leg looked like a twig
Wow.
from the injuries and everything. And there's a moral to this. It's coming. And once again, somebody's watching out for me. I had to go to assisted living. I was in a wheelchair. I had PICC lines in me. And I didn't know what was going to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister fortunately had an in at the Mayo Clinic. And they got me in down there in a wheelchair. I couldn't even get out of my wheelchair. I was so weak. And the first time I had an orthopedic scout and an infectious disease doctor meet with me for 3 hours trying to figure out what to do with me. And I said, can I get a new knee? And they said, we don't think we're going to save your leg.
Wow.
And that hit me so hard.
'Cause now it's like the one leg, the good leg.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about taking that. I
So
can just imagine what you were going through.
Well, my life was stopped again. And they said, we'll assign a orthopedist to you. We're going to meet and talk as a staff and figure out what we're going to do. They called me back and the following week, and I went down there in a wheelchair. I could hardly even move. And I could hardly get out of my wheelchair to get on an examining bench. And I'm sitting there and I heard a knock on the door. Door opens up. Here comes this man with an immaculate black suit, black turtleneck, black shoes, black glasses, immaculate, with other doctors following him. He looks at me and he goes in the back of the room and sits down. He says, I'm Dr. Arlen Hansen. I'm the doctor who's going to make you walk. And he said, I've got 2 rules. I'm in charge. I can change my mind. And if you don't want me as your doctor, let me know. I've got people from all over the world that will fly in to get my services. I said, I want you.
Mm-hmm.
So this was
somebody with that kind of confidence.
He was he inspired me so much, and he worked so hard. It took 15 surgeries to save that leg.
Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah.
15.
15.
Okay. So went to the end to try to clean up the infection. I still take antibiotics twice a day for the rest of my life to suppress staph bacteria and a whole bunch of stuff. I can't hurt this leg, otherwise it's coming off.
Wow.
It's delicate. But he gave me hope. And he was so proud that he saved the leg. He says, Milnar, he said, I've done 250 of these cases like you. 2 people have kept me up at night. You're number 2.
Wow.
Wow.
And
So how long ago was this?
that was in 2010 when this happened. So all the surgeries.
When was your last one?
Was 2015.
Oh my God.
It was, everything was going great. Oh, by the way, I had PICC lines in me and everything. I actually went to Boston. They wanted me to do a onstage performance with a patient. I did this all over the country, bring a patient and big dentist audience. And I was in a wheelchair with a PICC line in me. Okay. I flew out to Boston and they got me up. they got me out of my wheelchair, on crutches, to go up and sit in my dental chair, and I did a great demonstration about dentistry.
Oh, shit.
Well, it's about once again adapting. I mean, it's like you keep adapting to your environment. What's going on?
People are trying to take you out, Frank, and you're just not going.
I'm not going.
Not happening.
So
not having it.
it was in 2000.
Frank. I wanted to ask Frank. I was just that thing happened to you twice. Did you ever have? It seems like you're so steadfast about. You said you're grateful you didn't die, but your attitude was like, I'm going to kick this ass. And then the second time it happened, did you ever have a why me, or why is this happening? And did you ever have a pity party?
Yep. I remember it vividly. One time was before I started school with no leg, and I'm on crutches, and I'm outside. It was at night looking at the stars. I felt sorry for myself. One time, I said, why me? Why is this happening to me? Guess what? Nobody came. It was just me. And the forces that are doing this, that are orchestrating this, just one time. I'll never forget it. 2015, I have my knees great. I'm doing great. And Dr. Hansen's, I go down there once a year. They look at it and test my blood for bacteria. God, my knee was squeaking once. God, what's that noise from? I went down there and he said, well, okay, if it gets worse, let us know. It's probably going to go away. And went away and came back. It was just squeak, 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 squeak. And then it's starting to hurt. So I called them up and they got me in. They took x-rays and drew my blood. And I'm sitting there, and here comes Dr. Hansen in with all the doctors. And they had x-rays up on the board. He walks in the room. He doesn't even look at me. Goes right to the x-ray of my knee. He looks at it. He says, fuck.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
I said, Dr. Hansen, this isn't good. And he says, you're goddamn right. It isn't good. I said, what's the matter? He said, the dowel that holds your stem into your bottom of your leg is loose. The cement's loose. Oh, man. Here we go again.
So that was a full knee replacement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so I said, what do you have to do? And he said, we're going to do something. Come on down next week. We're going to operate on you. And I said, oh God, here we go again. I woke up and my leg's numb, and the orthopedic fellow who's studying with Dr. Hansen said, you have no idea what he just did for you. And what he did was, there's a dowel pin that connects the upper part and the lower part of the knee.
Yep.
He opened up a little porthole on one side and took a hammer and punched it out and took my whole leg apart.
Okay.
And re-glued the thing back in and put it back together. So if you look at my leg, I've got incisions all over my leg about 2 feet long.
Jeez. Wow.
But you see, the point is not to be grotesque about what happened to me. It's just, what did I do about that? And it was the relentless pursuit of trying to be a better person than I was yesterday. And that I'm totally driven by this.
Well, it's just so inspiring that. Go ahead, Patrick.
That's what I was going to say. You don't seem like a I'm going to give up now kind of a guy. But it did, I'm glad that you said earlier when it happened, you did have a why me. But I imagine nowadays you probably go, if if you needed a hip replacement next, what I mean, you'd probably go, okay, whatever. I'm just going to get stronger now. Stronger and better, Frank, right? I mean, that's all you can do, right?
Yep.
It keeps on going. My dad passed away of heart disease when he's 67. And I have heart disease. I take statins and high blood pressure, and I've got 3 stenosed coronary arteries, but they still function. And so once again, here I go, and I'm looking at the cardiologist, and he says, Dr. Milnar, can you have a heart attack? And he said, yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have nitro tabs if I ever need them. But I once again challenged myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've dropped 30 pounds. Okay. I've changed my diet. I get up at 3:30 every morning. I attack this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm in the best shape of my life. And when I went down the Mayo Clinic with the cardiologist and the stress test last year, he says, it's amazing. I said, what? He said, nobody's lowered their cholesterol score 50% in 1 year like you have.
Oh.
And I said, really? And I said, how did I do on the stress test? And he said, well, we want you to go 8 minutes. I wasn't on the treadmill anymore. I was swimming. And he said, you did okay, but we want to have you go 8 minutes. And I said, wait till you see me next year.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm on the treadmill again, practicing for my stress test in February.
Okay.
Well,
When I go down there, I'm gonna nail this thing. And he looked at me. The cardiologist looked at me, and he looked at my blood profiles. He looked at me, looked at the blood profiles. He says, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'll be 76." He said, "You're kidding me." I says, "No, I'm coming back. I'm gonna be so much better next year than I was this year."
Wow.
Well, there's one thing that I'm not buying, and I tell you this right now, what I'm not
Oh,
buying
there we
is that you're not, when you say that you're not the smartest guy in the room, no, I'm not buying that, because what I'm hearing is you're definitely the smartest guy in the room. And the reason is, and it's not just experience, you're the smartest guy in the room because you know how to attack the problem, you know how to get around the problem, you know how to adapt, you know how to do all the things that a lot of people that say that they're smart or book smart
Can't do.
They'll never be able to do. So when you say,
Well, book smart is book smart, but that doesn't tell you how to live life, right?
It doesn't, they can't survive.
Yeah.
They're not going to survive.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this like, yeah, you were the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
I was street smart.
Yeah.
Okay? I did some stuff that I'm not proud of
Yeah.
at the time with my buddies.
Yeah.
And we had a chip on our shoulders, and we didn't care.
Uh-huh.
And when I worked construction, I'd rather hang out with construction guys than I would dentists.
Uh-huh.
I think they're more interesting.
Yeah.
Dentists are dentists. I'm a dentist. I used to be a dentist. I consider myself a human being, just trying to help people.
Yeah.
And understanding people. I could get to know people real quick.
Sure.
But it's a gift. But the point of this whole journey is that my own recklessness got me into this, and lack of discipline.
Mm.
And when it happened, I had to prove to myself what I could take and what I could do about this, and then what I could find fulfillment and purpose in my journey. I'm at that stage now where there's purpose.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything else. I've done it.
Yeah.
But I want to give it to
Mhm.
somebody,
Yeah.
inspire somebody.
Sure.
And that's
You ever think about the scenario where you missed the train and what your life would be like if you had just gotten across the tracks?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I really doubt that, because I had nothing to attack. It was
Heck, you may have been drafted 2 years later because you know
Yep.
what I mean, and you could have been done in Vietnam when you put together the timing of it, or you could have got through Vietnam and become a PTSD, a lot of that 70s crap when those guys came back. You could have definitely not been here by 1980. You could have been done.
Well, my buddies got drafted, and they didn't come back. They came back in wheelchairs, all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
You're absolutely right. I could have been drafted.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Hey, when you start thinking about the what ifs and all those scenarios, and we all have this thing, like when my dad died, he didn't have a phone to call 911 because he was just kind of a poor old man. And I beat myself up, like, why couldn't I just buy him a phone? It was $19 at the time, right? And then my uncle said, "Hey man, don't do that. You're gonna screw up your whole life by thinking that it's your fault." So we've all got stuff like that, and it's fascinating that you're telling this story, and you're here, and it's amazing, and it's kind of
great
trippy
outcome
to think about if things have gone the other way, or if you'd have taken a left instead of a right. It's just one of those.
Yeah.
it's
It's a thought
take,
experiment.
Take a few
for sure.
shrooms and think about it for a night. You know?
So there's another interesting story. I went salmon fishing with my dad up in Alaska. We had many good salmon trips, and the prosthetic leg I had that knee brace with metal hinges on them, and I had to lace up the top part and put a strap around my waist and connect it and everything. We're salmon fishing up in Alaska, and
Where at?
right out of King Salmon. We were on a river camping. And
Was it up by the Juneau area or Anchorage or?
No, it was out of Anchorage. You fly out of Anchorage by Dillingham and by the Kenai Peninsula out there. And
Yeah, Kenai. Yep, that's good.
So,
I bring it up because I worked at in Gustavus, Alaska it was mainly a halibut fishing lodge.
Okay.
And I was there in the summer of 91. But I was up there for 6 months, so I know exactly what you're talking about. We mainly did halibut. When the tides were so bad, though, we'd do salmon. And it's great up there because you could just throw.
Oh, he's been halibut. He's been halibut fishing too.
Oh yeah. So
I want to hear about it. I want to hear all about it.
I'm walking on shore, and all of a sudden, bam! I hear another snap on my leg. It's the metal hinge broke on my leg, and I'm up in Alaska, and my leg's broken. I figure, what the hell are we gonna do? Well, now what am I gonna do? And so they had a guy that was coming in a float plane, and he had a welding torch.
Oh,
and so now here I am hopping around with no foot, and we're trying to wrap this leg to isolate so you don't fry the leg.
Yeah.
And he welded my legs back together so I could finish the fishing trip.
That is awesome. I mean, what an awesome story.
You know who you remind me of? That movie Forrest Gump. Remember when he was running and his leg brace fell off? And then he accomplishes all this shit that no one could ever even do. You are like just like him.
I mean, it's inspiring. I mean, for me, I got bad knees right now, and it's forced me out of law enforcement. I'm retiring here in a week due to my knees. I jacked my knees fighting with people all the time, and as a martial artist, second dan and subak do, it's tough. I mean, it's like you go through
you lose part of your identity.
Yeah, you go through the 7 phases of grief.
Yep.
Going through it.
Elizabeth Ross.
Right. And for me, because I had to have orthoscopic surgery on my left knee, and I got arthritis, and we've been doing the gel shots. My right knee, I tore the meniscus, and my left knee has got the MCL was hyperextended. The doctor was surprised I didn't snap my MCL. But then it's like that rubber band, you pull it out and now it's loose. And then
that ain't nothing compared to what Frank would do.
Yeah. So here's me going, I'm going to lose the one of the loves of my life, my job. But I listen to you and I'm like going, you know what? I'm doing pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So
lucky still.
You are a little girly man.
Yeah.
Look at you, girly man.
So I'm like going, you know what?
And he's got 20 years on you too. Yeah, so go figure.
Nothing to complain about. In all honesty here.
If you need somebody, I've got people at the Mayo Clinic that can take care of you. Mm-hmm. So when I go through security at the airport, my legs are full of metal, just full of metal. And
sir,
I walk
your shoes off.
I go through there and they look at that little figure and they see all this stuff and they, whoa. They pat me down and everything. And they said, "Thank you for your service."
Yeah.
Well, no, it still should be thanking you for your service because I mean you are
jumped on a grenade, right?
Yeah. But you know what, Stacy?
Well,
I'm going to give you Stacy some credit here as my friend, because when I was bench pressing 330, I thought it was tough. And Stacy said, "Do you ever try focus mitts?" And I said, "No, but I like to punch." So we started doing it, and I started, my form had no form.
Yeah.
No form. And then he'd do that, and then we'd get into it, and then we'd do blasts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would tap me out. I mean, you do this, and then I said, "What the hell's happening?" He said, "Frank, those muscles aren't helping you one bit." And that's when we started going more into endurance. And then when we started, I can't run away from you.
Yeah.
When I'd tap out, you'd get on top of me and say, push me off. I couldn't push you off because I had no strength.
Yep.
So what I was learning now is another way to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another way to attack something. And that's where you came into my life to show me a different way and how to think and discipline yourself. And now I'm disciplined. It is, I'm so disciplined in everything I do. And so what you tell me about Bruce Lee's, the power of observation, the way, and to do things in your own martial arts. It's not because you do Jeet Kune Do or Taekwondo or Muay Thai, is that you can blend everything together.
Yep.
And that's what my life has been, is blending everything together to perfect my art.
Yep.
So I owe that to you.
Oh,
Aw.
thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you know,
Yeah,
Stacy's he's a good guy. That's the reason when we put this podcast together, Stacy was right up on the top of the list
coming
to get him to come in and be a part of it. So yeah,
So you also worked a little bit with the Minnesota Wild.
good call. I was just going to ask. I want to know more about the constructive surgeries and stuff like that.
Okay, so
stuff.
Interesting, at Hamlin University in the athletic fraternity, there were some medical docs going. I mean, they were going into med school, law school, and several of us went into dentistry. And one of the med students, Dr. Sheldon Burns, he became the medical doctor for the Wild, Vikings, Timberwolves, all the pro franchises, even the Olympics. So when the
Frank, I got to stop you there. I told the story on another podcast we did. He stitched up my eye.
Sheldon Burns?
I went to yes.
Oh my God.
I had a date. We went to a Minnesota Moose hockey game, and before the game, they were shooting pucks up into the crowd for kids.
So
he stitched me.
Sheldon,
You want me to move that?
Oh, that's okay.
And I got a second date out of it, by the way, too.
So Sheldon was our frat brother, and he was our dental patient. So when the Wild opened up, he asked my partner, Dennis Killian, and myself to be the Wild dentist. I said, sure. Okay, what do we do? And, so we had to be down there. It was really interesting. We had to be at all the home games, and we would have to in the locker room afterwards, and the visitors and the Wild, we'd have to go see if anybody had a problem. But we would also be triage with the medical doctors for sutures, lacerations, teeth knocked out.
Yeah,
we would have to help the
Was
docs.
it for both teams at the time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it for both teams? Like you were just the arena people? You weren't necessarily, like if a Vancouver Canuck guy got messed up, you'd take care of him too, right?
Oh yeah, we had to take care of them all. And one of the greatest things is when they had the NHL All-Star game, I was the dentist for that. And I got to go see some.
Oh, nice.
I got to go in the locker room,
Well, you brought me through the locker room. He brought me to a game, and said, "Stacy, come on down." We went through the locker room and stuff like that, and they're working out, getting ready for the game. And
what did it smell like?
Well, you know what?
Sweat and feet.
But if you look at those guys, I mean, the brutality of it. Oh, God, these young kids were just getting cut and teeth knocked out. They didn't care. You'd sew them back up. They'd go out there and fight. If you looked at Bugard and Matt Johnson, they were like 6'8" on skates. They were 7 feet tall.
Yep.
They were frightening.
Wow.
Yeah. So how many things?
No, it's amazing.
Did you do? Did you do a lot of fixes or?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we took care of them in our dental office. We took care of their families and everything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they were really nice people. It was an honor to serve them, and we did that for 3 to 4 years. But then it's too much, you had to be down there too much. But we enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
It was a good ride.
So can I ask
If I could, they like to wear that like a badge of honor too, don't they? They don't care. There's just make me look at like if I take the wife out to dinner, she's going to want me to have teeth in the front. So that's pretty much what they do. But then when they play hockey, it's almost like a badge of honor. They take their teeth out when they play, right?
Yep,
I mean,
they sure
it's
do.
Got to be kind of funny.
Well,
Did they take them with them?
Well, it's funny. I mean, because when I worked at TGI Fridays in downtown Minneapolis, and we didn't have the Minnesota Wild anymore, so they did this game over at the Target Center. And it was, I believe it was the New York Rangers, and then it was Arizona. The old Winnipeg Jets. So the Coyotes. And all of a sudden, we didn't know. I mean, I didn't have any idea that they were doing an exhibition game, and all these big bruisers comes walking in, wearing their suit and ties and stuff, and these guys are sitting down, and I'm like going, so what's the deal? Is there a convention? And this guy opens his mouth, and he's missing like 80% of his teeth. He goes, yeah, hockey convention, eh? and it was what is his name? Brian Leach from New York Rangers. And they're sitting with the other guys from the other teams, and they're drinking beers and hanging out. I mean, they're just having a great time. And it's like in every one of them, they were literally missing teeth and stuff. And I'm like, oh, wow. But
you made a lot. He makes a lot of
some
teeth.
of them get really severe. Logan Couture from the San Jose Sharks about 3-4 years ago, he got nailed with a puck, like a slap shot, 110 miles an hour, right to the face. He was wired up for like 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think he returned to play hockey for like 9 months after that because his face was just so bad.
Well, they're dental.
Like it got serious.
They're dental cripples because when you lose bone like that and you're at that age, you're not going to your dentist to get an implant the next day and replace the bone. You got to go play hockey. And these guys, if you watch them smile, when they smile, they have unnatural looking teeth because they're too big because there's no bone up there.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen to them later in their life? Who knows? Yeah. It's not a pretty story.
Sure.
They don't care. They don't care. They want to. It's for the glory.
Yep.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask. If you can you tell us like what was the major thing that's happened to one of the hockey players that you had to take care of?
Okay. Let's see. I forgot who it was, what game it was, but somebody had fractured teeth and teeth that were pushed up into the gum.
Wow.
And so I think it was Sheldon Burns and myself, I had to numb them up. We had to pull the teeth down, get them in position. And I forgot if we had a wire there. I had to wire the teeth together.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the guy wanted to go out and play.
The roots were still connected.
Yeah. Roots were connected.
And he still wanted to go out and play.
Pull them out just enough.
It's like grabbing a pair of pliers and pulling them down. And
well, we would stitch up with all these good-looking young hockey players. They'd be gashed up in here over their eyes, and it was terrible because they're going to get scarred.
Yeah,
they didn't care.
No,
yeah.
That's just
wild.
Their
face is swollen, and you're trying to work on their teeth, and it's pushing down, and
and they still want to. The hardcore thing is they still want to go out there. Yeah. It's just give me a shot, numb me up,
put me back in, coach. Put me back in, coach.
So I remember one time I was going in the visitors' locker room, and we'd have to walk around and are you okay, and talk to the equipment manager, or whoever it was, and this guy's sitting down here, and I said, where's your mouth guard? He says, he was French. He says, I don't wear a mouth guard. I says, why?
Stefan Bayou.
Because I'm a goalie.
I'm a goalie. He doesn't have to wear a mouth guard. He's got a full mask on. So, you've had a very, very interesting career in life. It's just really nice to come back and see you again after all these years. I for sure wanted to get you on. And you were talking to Patrick wants to hear about some of your. So when I was a personal trainer, he brings me this picture of this freaking huge halibut that he caught
in Kodiak.
Okay, yeah.
In Kodiak? That was in Kodiak, and he gave me a big hunk of it, and nice. Man, that was one of the best tasting fishes I ever ate. So what? You've been up there quite a bit going back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the biggest halibut you caught?
Oh, I've caught him 175.
Whoa!
I'll tell you the most adventurous fishing trip I've ever been on in my life. A long time ago with my cousin, we went out to where SeaWorld is in California. We went on a long range tuna boat, go 150 miles down in Mexican waters fishing for bluefin tuna. There's 24 guys on this boat, and captain looks for the temperature gradient where the bluefins go. And when you have a troller out the back, when they hook up, he sees underneath the boat, whether they're big fish or little fish. And then you go get an anchovy and you throw it over, and you got guys walking around the deck, no fighting pockets or nothing. And you start
That's
getting,
cheating.
you get into these 100-pound bluefin tuna,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
just you and them, and they'll spool you. I mean, if they strip all that 100-pound test line out, they clip another rod in there, and you throw that one. Now you got that rod out. Now you got to reel it back. But that was a truly amazing experience out there, 150 miles out in the ocean.
So what'd you catch?
I forgot how many tons of tuna we caught.
And that's worth a lot of money in Japan.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
worth a lot
Yeah.
of money
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we caught, some guys die in those trips because they can't take the cardiac.
Oh, the pressure of the.
Yeah, they just throw them down in the
yeah.
ice, until they
Well,
get to
So-
shore.
He's with the tuna.
Frank, you'll appreciate this. The lodge we worked at was called WT Fagarwe Lodge, which stood for Where the Fug Are We? And it was in Gustavus, Alaska. And we they had a pool. So all summer long you'd put in $10 and you'd say, I'm gonna catch the largest halibut. So at the end of the season, we'd have, I don't know, we were always busy. So we'd have 3 boats, 6 guests each, 18 people a week, times 10. I mean, it got to be thousands of dollars. So everyone, of course, would do the raffle. I'm putting $10 in there. And it was like someone caught a 200-pounder. Someone caught like a low 300s, and they're like, oh, there's the winner. A lady, and I can't, she's just a small blonde lady. I can't remember where they were from, but she got a fish on, and it was like, what the fuck? And if you're fishing and you pull up a halibut, they have a white side and a dark side.
Yep.
And the white side is where they lay flat on the ocean.
Yep.
So when you pull them up, and we looked at this thing, it was coming up, and it was like, look at the door, like that's on the kitchen right now. It was 4 feet wide, 8 feet tall. And it turned out to be a 462-pound halibut.
oh, jeez.
And
Whoa.
it turned out to be a world record for a fish caught on 80-pound test by a woman. That was
Wow.
a world record. And I don't
Wow.
know if it's still that
Yeah.
today, but it was on 80-pound test. And I had a little pride in that too, because I used to not go out. So I would stay back at the lodge, and we melted our own weights. And so what I would do is I would pour this molten, I would just melt down
The leg.
lead. Yeah. And then I would put the little fish eyes in it. And then those, you'd have to do it right, because that's connecting the line to the leader. And if you fuck that up, you're not going to have a stable, connection to the hook. So I was doing all the lines and leaders and all that stuff in the weights for that trip. And I wasn't on it, but I have pictures of it. Maybe I can send one to Brett after this. We can show it up on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Were you
we
wearing your
had to use-
Speedo?
We had to use the backhoe to hoist this thing up, because it was so heavy and so big. But you could see this 5'6" woman standing, and the fish is probably 8 foot tall.
So how
and
did you
we
reel that in?
Yeah.
So you very carefully, you pull it
Carefully,
up, and
yeah.
when he was talking about getting spooled, you pull this thing up for 30 minutes. It sees the top of the boat and the ocean and the air, and it goes bye, and it goes down to the bottom again, and it spools you.
So
You got to pull it up again,
Ugh, man.
and
and
so
hope that the
how
line
deep?
doesn't break.
How deep is that usually?
Oh, you can go 150 feet.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
I
they're
mean,
bottom
80 to 200.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're at, but we got it up, and so the captain, it's a delicate procedure, because as a deckhand, you're assisting with getting the fish up to the boat to where you can lay it flat, so the captain can take the 410 and shoot the fish.
Yeah. You got to kill it before he gets on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So amazingly, they got that done right. I wasn't gaffing on the boat that day, but they got that right, and they couldn't get it up on the boat, so they had to go into the water. Not on the water, but on the back. They had to tie it around the back of the boat to bring it in.
Wow.
And then to get it
So
up.
they
called
towed it
up-
in? Did they tow it
didn't
in?
tow it in, but there's a platform off the back of the stern where they
yeah.
had to just pull it up enough to where it's laying on it, and then they just roped the shit out of it. and then they brought it in.
Wow.
And when we got there, they were calling all hands, all deck hands, and there's like 5 of us, and then the captains, there was 5 of them too, but it took all 10 of us to get it into the fucking pickup truck.
So how much of that meat do you take home then? If you caught a 400-pound fish, you ain't taking 400 pounds home, or 300 pounds. Do you share it with people? Go ahead.
What I remember is we talked to the lodge owner. He said that's going to be the shittiest meat you ever fucking
It is.
eat. So you can take some home.
50, 75-pound halibut are the best.
Right.
Yeah. Those old fish, it tastes like ass. That's
Yeah.
what I've heard. But
Ew.
I think we filleted enough of it. And then the carcass itself, we used to trade carcasses for Dungeness crab. And that carcass, when we filleted that up and gave it to the crabbers, we were eating Dungeness for weeks. Like it was amazing.
Well, I suppose they use that as bait.
Yeah. So that's what they throw in the crab traps.
Oh, okay. The crab traps. Oh, wow.
Halibut heads and all of that. Yeah.
That's a big fish.
That was a great trade-off. That was a good summer.
So how many halibut have you got?
Oh, I probably caught half. I've been up to Kodiak 3 times. Probably caught a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
One other trip I wish I would have taken is a long-range tuna boat down in the Clarion Islands, way down in Mexico. And that's where they get the big yellowfin tuna. And when you get the big ones, they can go 200 pounds. They'll spool you, and either you're going to lose all your gear or you got to get into a small boat with a deckhand and let the fish pull you around. Okay? And when down in those waters, there's tiger sharks there. So now you're in a small boat. Fish is pulling.
You're like
around.
A bobber.
Yeah, you're like a bobber.
Pulling you around. Wow.
I think the biggest fish I ever caught was a sunfish on Prior Lake, and my brother had to take it off the hook for me, and then it peed on him.
So you go up to Mille Lacs quite a bit though too. Right?
Yeah, I did. And now Thursday I go to Oregon. I fish on the ocean with my cousin Al, who I go with, and we go 3 ocean charters going for salmon, lingcod, black bass, and we're fishing on the ocean. It's really cool. And we got whales around us, seals, rock islands. It's so cool. And you're out there fishing.
Wow.
Now, do you, big difference between, fishing out on the ocean and lake fishing. Do you do both? Do you do lake fishing as well?
Oh,
and what do you prefer?
Okay. Actually, the place we go in Wisconsin, we have a guide with my high school buddies, and it's out of Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. And this guy knows all the lakes, Turtle Lake, Balsam, Staples, and he's the guide. We show up, and he tells us what lake we go to. He's got all the bait, all the gear. We bring our coolers, and we limit out on crappies, sunfish. Time after time, we'll spend 3 hours and you catch 90 fish.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that. On Ultra Lake, we were just up in Mille Lacs fishing, and we go for smallmouth, and we have a 4-pound test with an ultralight rod and reel and 3 to 5 pound smallmouth, and that thing will just bend your rod in half.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
To me, I think I like that the best.
Now, do you do trout fishing as well? Or have you?
No, not much trout. No, haven't done
fly fishing or anything
not
like that.
No.
So you go for the big fish,
the big ones.
Stuff.
I like more brutal stuff.
Brett caught a fish once in a lake, and it took over the entire tank, and he had piranhas.
Oh God!
And the lake fish owned that tank.
Now, when I was young, I built a 150-gallon tank. Using physics, and I bought the glass, and I knew what I had to do to put the tank together. So I put the tank together and tested it and the whole thing. And I wanted this big tank for piranhas. So I bought the piranhas, and they were like, size of a quarter. And I got probably like 30 of them. I think they were like $2 a piece at the time. And then they got big enough where they were probably about 1.5 pounds each, but they ate a lot. So goldfish became expensive. So I had a seine net, and my buddies would go down to the lake, and we'd seine some fish, and we'd get them in, and they would just devour these fish. Well, we got a little mini bass, and this little fish was about 1/10 the size of all the piranhas, and it took over like 2/3 of the tank. So all the piranhas are stuck in the last third of the tank, and this thing was here. And I would throw fish in there, and the piranhas would try to go and get the fish, and it would chase them back in the corner. I mean, it would. It just bass,
A
little
bass?
yeah,
Really?
And the bass was eating all the other little minnows and shit we got. And then all of a sudden, my piranhas started eating each other because they were afraid of this little bass that was like
Why?
a tenth their size. The thing just scoped it out and said, "Mine," and just kept chasing them out, and they wouldn't touch them.
Wow.
Would
Alpha
not
bass.
touch them. Yeah, it was unreal. I was losing piranhas. I'm like, what the hell?
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was really interesting to
They probably know that big mouth will open up and just suck them right in.
you know, and piranhas are school fish,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and this bass is like, nope, my area, don't cross this line. And literally, they would cross the line, and it would come out of nowhere and just attack them.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wow, unbelievable. Yeah, lake fish.
Yeah.
You know?
Is if we close, I think what some people have paths to choose on their journey.
Yeah.
I chose a dangerous path.
Yeah.
I had no choice, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. If somebody said, "Frank, we want you,"
Would you go back, and if you did have that accident, would you trade that?
no, I like who I am.
Oh, okay.
I like what I went through. I like who
That changed
who
your
I've
character quite a bit.
become. It did, and back in high school, we thought we were tough. Hung around, got rowdy, got in fights. That was tough.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't tough.
No, not what you've had to go through.
I'm tough now.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Yeah.
And it's a God-given thing that I think part of my journey is by design.
Uh-huh.
And I think
I think you beat it.
I think I did what I had to do.
Sure.
And I'm not done.
Yeah. You're not done. It sounds like you're just starting in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow. And I'll tell you, man, 76 and look as good as you. Man, I hope I look half as good as you.
Well, Stacy taught me this
20
'cause
years.
I can't run. If I get in an altercation, I can't run. So I better do something with my hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And
Do
that's
some jujitsu. That's next
Yeah.
for you. Become a black belt in jujitsu. You're fine.
Well,
I know you can.
yeah.
Yep. So
Or you can just
Well-
aim for the balls like I do.
Yeah. Well, Frank, I want to say it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast here.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
for showing up.
Fascinating.
It was fascinating.
Very.
It's
I feel
inspirational
like a
as
loser.
well.
I can't stop
I
drinking
know.
and eating
I'm gonna-
right.
I got a
wanna
box
eat
of
better.
Kleenex right here.
See,
Jesus Christ.
on the veneer, I'm Dr. Milnar.
yep.
Okay, I'm a professional man. Look at the awards, but underneath, that's who I am.
Yep.
And I'll never ever abandon that. My friends
Yep.
that were with me on this journey and everything. Those are important people in my life.
Yeah.
It was great being a part of it.
Yeah.
It was.
Because you
Yeah.
care.
Like
That's
if I
why.
had a coin or a hat, I'd give it to you because you got my respect, man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Frank,
right,
for
thank you.
joining us.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, folks, thank you for joining us for another episode at the Bar With podcast. We'll be back next week. And make sure that you are hitting the like button, that you are hitting the share button, you're subscribing. And thanks for being a part of our family. Take care. We'll see you next week.